For any gamer out there, console launches are one of, like, the premier events out there. I mean, you get to see the advent of technology, a new generation of gaming is going to be sweeping the entire nation. Franchises are going to be cropping up, and you're going to be able to go and experience these pre-existing franchises, hopping on the bandwagon of a new thing of hardware, and they're going to be even better than ever, and you're all excited about it, and you're like, oh my god, the Xbox One's coming out, and you pretty much react like this to Microsoft whenever they're launching somewhere.
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
It's like, kudos to you, but then in Japan you're kind of just like, wait, what? I can honestly say I'm not fucking surprised. Microsoft has always done diddly shit in Japan, that's really the truth. Ever since the original Xbox came out, it was pretty much being made fun of like a motherfucker. I mean, they had a big-time advertising campaign for the thing there as well. But it didn't help that the Xbox, whenever it shows up in Japan, still translates to the no box. That's a terrible name. It's just like the no box. How about no? How about get the fuck away from me? But with the Xbox One, I think this one was a little bit different by comparison to the original Xbox and the Xbox 360, especially the original Xbox, because that had a lot of backing from Sega and other Japanese companies, whereas the Xbox One doesn't seem like it's really catering to anybody on the eastern side of the planet at all. So I could kind of understand why it wasn't doing all that well, but I remembered seeing all these different inserts and all these different articles online talking about how bad the launch was going. Typically, you see launches and the lines, they're going around an entire building, up and down streets, sometimes just wrapping around the entire block. Shit gets ridiculous because there's so many people waiting for it. For the Xbox One, you could hear crickets and you could watch tumbleweeds go by. It was kind of depressing, to be honest. It was one of those things, even if you were somebody who was like, oh, I hate Microsoft and I hate the Xbox, you don't want to see something do this bad. And by the numbers, which I have the numbers right here, and I thought that this was something that ought to paint a picture for everybody. Keep in mind that all these numbers right here actually go all the way back to the mighty Dreamcast, which is celebrating its 15th anniversary, so fuck yeah to Dreamcast. But anyway, so this right here, dating back to 1998 all the way forward, this is all the Japanese launches, and keep in mind that most Japanese launches are typically on a weekend, so it'll have 2 to 3 days, typically. The Xbox One actually had 4 days, so that ought to even paint an even more grim picture. But the Dreamcast in 3 days did 101,000. The Sony PlayStation 2 in 2 days did 630,000. The Nintendo GameCube in 3 days did 133,000. The original Xbox, keep in mind the one that I said wasn't doing all that hot by comparison to all of its competition, in 3 days did 123,000, almost matching Nintendo GameCube. That's really not bad, especially for a new console and a new company launching over in Japan. But like I said, they had a lot of backing from Sega. Let's see. So then we go on into last generation, the Xbox 360. Whenever it launched with 2 days, 62,000. Okay, now we're definitely doing a lot worse. That's half of what the original Xbox did. The PlayStation 3, which also did pretty fucking shittily, launched with 88,000 in 2 days. That fucking sucks. That's like a mega low point. By comparison to what the PS2 did, that's fucking laughable. Let's see, the Nintendo Wii, within 2 days, did 371,000, so Nintendo was doing a lot better than last time. Nintendo Wii U launched, 2 days, 308,000, so now we're on into this generation. The PlayStation 4 launched with 2 days, did 322,000. Drum roll, please. 4 days. And the Xbox One did a whopping 23,562 units. Now, to put this into even more perspective, having some numbers crunched from all the way back in the day of Game Boy Color, so we're talking quite a while back, the worst handheld and console combined that did worse than the Xbox One is actually the Geo Pocket and Geo Pocket Color, both of which sold around 20-something thousand. Even the PSP Go launched better than the Xbox One. That's a mindfuck right there, but this is one of those things, and this, keep in mind, this is, oh, Alpha, you're just taking jabs at Microsoft. No, this ought to paint a picture for Microsoft in general. that they shouldn't be ignoring any one market. It seems that they've been so focused on, you know, a big Western release, which they have done very well in the West. That cannot be argued. Whether you like the system or not, they are doing extremely well for themselves. But anytime that you're having international releases, worldwide releases, you have to realize that certain markets want certain things, and if you are not trying to go and cater to them, you're just going to fail miserably. And many of the things on the Xbox One pretty much are for American audiences, and many of the franchises, again, are just catered to the West. And it makes no sense for them to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go and launch it there. Late as fuck, mind you. We're gonna launch there late as fuck and really have nothing to showcase for them. I'm just like, dude, just think about this for a sec. Do you want to fail miserably? Like, do you want to sit down with Microsoft of Japan, just be like, well, frankly, we didn't give a fuck, so, yeah, there's that. I have a meeting in, like, 5 minutes. Yeah, they're overlapping. I could give a shit less. So, fuck off. And then just leave the boardroom meeting, because that's kind of how their attitude feels about something like this. In no way should you want to look at what you did back in, what, 2000, 2001? With your original Xbox, and be like, damn, that right there, it did astoundingly well by comparison. I mean, how many more times over do you have to realize, like, you have to be doing better than this? I don't fucking get it. Like, you know, and I understand that there's a lot of people that'll bring up certain aspects, like, well, the mobile market is really big in Japan, you know, and there's certain things about, you know, like, the taxing over there, and there's a lot of shit. You know, just take all this into account. It's like, no. Look at the Wii U and look at the PlayStation 4. Now, is there really an excuse? No, there isn't really an excuse. If they had the titles and they had the features, I mean, they had the advertising, that they actually had. Not nearly as much as they did when they first were launching there, way back in the day, but still, they had the advertising there, showcasing, yes, we have new hardware coming out, please buy it. But whenever you see all those empty-ass lines, and the Xbox One launch in Japan, it looked like, you know, everybody was having a great time and everybody was all about it, and it seemed like that was where they gathered every single person who was buying an Xbox One. Was into that little party, and they're just kind of doing the most friendly mosh pit ever and fucking fist pumping and shit. And then they left with their Xbox One systems. Meanwhile, nobody else seemed to give a flying goddamn fart whatsoever what the hell was going on with the system. So, Microsoft, have you actually learned from a mistake like this? I mean, you had to have realized that the Xbox 360 literally did half as well as the original Xbox. Did half as well. When the original Xbox launched, it was mocked to hell and back. There was memes and jokes made aplenty. And back in the day, before memes were even a fucking name, by the way. But it's to be said that you should learn from your own history so that you do not repeat mistakes from the past. And here you are, not only repeating them, but somehow doing even worse. You're just like, yeah, that one barren-ass path, I want to go down that. Skipping and fucking smiling the entire way. All the while losing money. All the while losing out on a big-time consumer base, and it's just, I don't get it. Like, do your customers mean that fucking little to you? Like, I understand that you don't make as much money over there, but you can if you apply yourself. I mean, if your competition here in the States is doing very well, and they're neck and neck with you, and then they are trouncing you to shit and back overseas, where does that put you worldwide? Think about that for a sec, because that's what's going to matter overall, is that worldwide, you are not going to be up to snuff, and it's always going to be imbalanced. Like, I don't fucking understand, man. I don't. So, damn. I still can't get that out of my head. The PSP Go did better. Not by much, but it still did better in its launch. The PSP Go is a fucking piece of shit. Like, that shouldn't even make sense. And it did better than a Geo Pocket Color, which, by the way, I got my bad boy sitting right here. It is. It's a fantastic little thing. But should this do better than Xbox One? No, it should not do better than it. But Microsoft, did you see it that way? Like, are you just sitting back and kind of like, wow, we should reevaluate this entire thing. Maybe we should get a bunch of exclusives and bring them over to Japan. And then pump a whole bunch more money into advertising. Maybe, I don't know, make some fucking bundles. Drop the price a little bit and, like, reinvent the image of it so that your launch, while it will go down in history as being a miserable fucking pile of shit, but you at least picked up speed from that point forward. That's what I would try to do. I mean, you pretty much have to. That's all I can tell you. You pretty much have to. So, opinions and thoughts on the Xbox One's launch. I mean, everybody saw this coming, seriously. Everybody did. I mean, everybody's been talking about it and reporting on, oh man, it's fucking bad. But I didn't think that it would be just a little over 20,000 units within 4 days bad. So, all I know is, if anything, all the Japanese Xbox One, like, upper management have to be developing some kind of alcoholism, going to AA meetings. That's just some depressing ass shit. Like, I'd rather be drunk than to even say I work here. Fuck it. So, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always. Nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.